Under the relentless Egyptian sun, the Nile River glimmers, a stark contrast to the suffering unfolding along its banks. Hebrew slaves, their bodies slick with sweat, strain under heavy burdens, their movements mirroring the weight of their despair. The air shimmers with heat and oppression, each breath a testament to their unending toil. Egyptian overseers watch with cold, unwavering eyes, their presence a constant reminder of the slave's hopeless plight. In the dim light of a humble Hebrew hut, shadows dance as Jochebed sits on a mat, her face a canvas of worry. She tenderly cradles her newborn son, Moses, her eyes filled with a mother's love and a palpable fear. Her gaze darts nervously towards the entrance, the Pharaoh's cruel decree weighing heavily on her heart. Adonai, please protect my child, she whispers, her voice a fervent plea in the silent night. Keep him safe from harm. With infinite tenderness, Jochebed lowers the woven basket, her touch lingering as she sets her son afloat on the vast Nile. Tears carve paths through the dust on her face, each drop a silent prayer and a mother's agony. Her gaze remains fixed on the small vessel, a fragile hope amidst the flowing river. Entrusting Moses to a higher power, she releases her grip, her heart heavy with sorrow and unwavering faith. The basket drifts away, carrying her precious child into the unknown currents of destiny. Along the sun-drenched Nile riverbank, Bithiah, the Pharaoh's daughter, walks with her handmaidens, their voices echoing softly. Their chatter fades as a basket is spotted nestled among the swaying reeds, an enigma floating gently on the water's edge. Driven by curiosity, Bithiah approaches the basket cautiously, her heart stirred by the unknown. A soft cry pierces the air as she peers inside, revealing a vulnerable infant stirring within the woven cradle. Her heart melts, and in that moment, Bithiah resolves to raise him as her own, naming him Moses, a promise whispered to the ancient river. Years have passed, and within the opulent Egyptian palace, Moses flourishes, a figure of youthful vigor amidst the extravagance. He navigates the palace halls, surrounded by symbols of Egyptian power and status, a prince in all but blood. Educated in the customs of the Egyptians, he masters their ways, his mind sharp and inquisitive. Yet, beneath the surface of his princely life, a persistent curiosity simmers, a longing to understand his true origins. His eyes, though reflecting the grandeur of the palace, hold a shadow of unanswered questions, a quest for identity in a world of gilded artifice. In the opulent Egyptian palace, Moses stands before Bithiah, his face a canvas of hope and deep trepidation. Moses' voice trembles as he pleads, "Tell me the truth, Bithiah. Who am I, really?" "Moses, the truth is, I found you in the Nile. You are of Hebrew descent," Bithiah confesses, her words hanging heavy in the air. Under the harsh sun, an Egyptian overseer raises his whip, the leather glinting cruelly. The whip cracks through the air, a sickening sound as it strikes the back of a Hebrew slave. Moses watches, his face a mask of mounting fury and righteous indignation. His eyes blaze with a fierce sense of justice, unable to bear witness to such brutality any longer. Under the merciless desert sun, Moses stumbles, his simple clothes offering little relief against the scorching heat. An endless expanse of sand stretches before him, each grain a testament to his isolation and despair. His face, etched with exhaustion and guilt, betrays the heavy burden of his past actions. He glances back, a flicker of paranoia in his eyes, but finds only the empty horizon, a stark reminder of his solitude. Under the relentless sun of Midian, Moses approaches a well, his quiet strength a stark contrast to the arid landscape. Shepherdesses struggle against the odds, their efforts thwarted by harassing shepherds, their frustration palpable. Moses steps into the fray, his commanding presence silencing the harassers, a beacon of justice in the desert. The shepherdesses, relief etched on their faces, gratefully water their flock, a moment of peace restored. Led by gratitude, they bring Moses to Jethro, a priest of Midian, his welcoming gaze promising sanctuary and new beginnings. Inside Jethro's tent, the flickering lamplight casts long shadows, illuminating simple furnishings. Moses and Zipporah, clad in simple robes, exchange vows, their faces radiant in the soft glow. Moses finds solace in this quiet life, a peaceful contrast to his tumultuous past. Beyond the tent, the vast desert stretches into the night, a silent, watchful witness to their sacred union. On the slopes of Mount Horeb, Moses watches over Jethro's flock, the vast landscape stretching before him under the desert Sunday. His movements pause as he spots a bush ablaze with fierce, bright flames, an anomaly against the arid backdrop. The bush burns intensely, yet remains untouched, unharmed by the fire's embrace. Awestruck, Moses approaches the burning bush cautiously, his eyes wide with wonder at the sight of the unconsumed flames. In the desolate expanse, a solitary bush erupts in untamed flames. Moses, a humble shepherd, stands transfixed by the miraculous sight. The voice of God reverberates through the air, a commanding presence that stills the desert wind. "Moses, Moses!" Humbled and awestruck, Moses responds, "Here I am," as the divine voice commands him to remove his sandals, declaring the ground sacred. God's voice booms with purpose, declaring, "I am who I am," tasking Moses to confront Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Under the fierce desert sun, Moses stands transfixed before the burning bush, its flames writhing yet leaving the bush unharmed. Doubt shadows his face as he contemplates the daunting task ahead, the weight of a nation heavy on his shoulders. Fear flickers in his eyes as he envisions the Pharaoh's wrath, a storm of retribution brewing in his mind. A divine voice cuts through his trepidation. "I will be with you. I will give you signs to perform, so they may believe." Under the relentless desert sun, Moses stands before Jethro, his figure stark against the undulating dunes. With impassioned conviction, Moses recounts the divine encounter, his voice carrying on the desert wind. Jethro listens with profound intent, his weathered face a testament to years of wisdom and desert survival. "Go forth, Moses," Jethro commands with solemn blessing. "May the Almighty guide your hand and protect you on your journey." Under the scorching sun, Moses and his family approach the stark, imposing Egyptian border. A palpable sense of trepidation hangs in the air, a heavy cloak upon Moses' shoulders as he gazes toward the distant land. Despite the fear, his face is set with resolve, an unwavering determination burning in his eyes. He presses onward, each step a testament to his unwavering commitment to fulfill God's divine command. In the opulent throne room of the Pharaoh's palace, Moses and Aaron stand defiantly before the imposing ruler. Sunlight floods the chamber, illuminating the golden hieroglyphs that adorn the walls. Moses' voice cuts through the heavy air, a demand echoing through the hall. "Let my people go." Pharaoh's eyes narrow, his response a thunderous dismissal. "You are troublemakers." Under the relentless Egyptian sun, the majestic Nile writhes, transformed into a horrifying crimson torrent. The river, once a giver of life, now flows like a gaping wound, choked with death and despair. Dead fish, their scales shimmering mockingly in the harsh light, bob on the surface, grim heralds of the first plague. Along the banks, Egyptians stand as silent witnesses, their faces etched with horror as the stench of decay fills the air. In the heart of the Pharaoh's palace, Moses and Aaron stand as figures of defiance. The throne room is a spectacle of wealth, with gold shimmering and ancient artifacts whispering tales of power. Sunlight floods through towering windows, casting long shadows that amplify the growing tension. Pharaoh is enthroned, an emblem of absolute authority and unyielding arrogance. His gaze pierces through Moses and Aaron, a silent challenge echoing in the grand hall. The air crackles with unspoken words, the fate of a people hanging in the balance. Egypt writhes under a sky teeming with frogs, their croaks a constant maddening chorus. The air thickens with swarms of gnats and flies, a living, buzzing cloud descending upon the land. Livestock collapses, their bodies ravaged by disease, a grim testament to the unfolding disaster. Painful boils erupt on the skin of the people, a physical manifestation of their suffering and despair. Hailstones batter the earth, turning fields into desolate wastelands, as locusts descend like a biblical plague, devouring what little remains. Darkness descends, an oppressive blanket suffocating the land, and the Egyptian people are left to suffer in the suffocating gloom. The Pharaoh's palace vibrates with muted pleas, the air thick with apprehension. Advisors cluster, their worried faces a stark contrast to the opulent gold that surrounds them. Their voices, a low, urgent hum, fill the vast hall with unspoken fear. Yet, amidst the rising tide of concern, the Pharaoh remains unmoved, a figure of stone, his expression, a mask of stubborn pride, defies the anxiety swirling around him. The fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance, reflected in the silent tension of the room. Under the cloak of night, an unseen force descends upon the Egyptian homes, the air thick with an impending sense of doom. A silent, invisible wave sweeps through the land, carrying with it the chilling promise of death. Suddenly, piercing cries shatter the stillness, erupting from every home as the horror unfolds. The anguished screams echo through the darkened streets, a symphony of despair and agony. The 10th plague has arrived, its devastating presence marked by the collective sorrow of a nation. Torches flicker, casting long, dancing shadows across the opulent walls of the Pharaoh's palace. The vast hall is draped in an oppressive darkness, heavy with unspoken sorrow. Upon his throne sits the Pharaoh, his face a mask of inconsolable grief. The weight of his son's death crushes him, each shadow seeming to deepen the lines of despair etched upon his face. Summoning Moses and Aaron, his voice is but a hoarse whisper, barely audible in the echoing hall. "Leave Egypt," he commands, his words filled with anguish. "Take your people and go." Under the watchful moon, Goshen stirs with fervent energy, the land alive with whispered hopes and hurried preparations. Torchlight dances across the faces of the Israelites, illuminating their determined expressions as they pack their meager belongings. Families gather, their forms silhouetted against the night, securing bundles of clothing and essential tools for the journey. Each carefully wrapped provision represents a piece of their past, carried forward into an uncertain future. The air crackles with anticipation, a palpable sense of liberation hanging heavy amidst the quiet activity. A collective breath is held, a silent promise of freedom whispered as they stand on the precipice of a new dawn. Under the blazing sun, the Israelites commence their monumental exodus from the chains of Egypt. Moses leads the multitude, his face resolute, as he guides them towards the distant promise of the Red Sea. A vast, surging river of humanity stretches across the horizon, their hopes and fears etched on their faces. By day, a towering pillar of cloud shows them the path, a divine beacon cutting through the harsh desert light. Hope flickers in their weary eyes as they follow the miraculous sign, their steps echoing with newfound freedom. Whispers of anticipation ripple through the throng, the dream of liberation fueling their arduous journey into the unknown. The Pharaoh's throne room, opulent yet heavy with unspoken burdens, reflects his inner turmoil. Pharaoh sits upon his throne, his face a canvas of deep regret, etched by the weight of his crown. A flicker of resolve sparks in his eyes as he rises, casting off the cloak of despair. The sound of his clap echoes through the hall, a decisive command shattering the silence. Guards surge into the gilded cage, their movements swift and subservient. They kneel before their ruler, their loyalty unwavering as they await his command. Under the relentless sun, the Red Sea stretches endlessly, its surface shimmering with an almost mocking serenity. The Israelites arrive, their faces a canvas of exhaustion, their eyes reflecting a fragile hope amidst the desolation. But their brief respite shatters as a terrifying vision materializes on the horizon. A monstrous dust cloud billows, a harbinger of doom, rapidly swallowing the distance between them and Pharaoh's relentless army. The vast sea looms before them, an insurmountable barrier reflecting their despair. Trapped between the unforgiving sea and the approaching terror, the Israelites face their darkest hour, their hope dwindling with each breath. Before the Israelites lies a vast expanse of the Red Sea, its waters reflecting the harsh sunlight. Fear tightens its grip, faces contorted with terror as the realization dawns. They are trapped. The Israelites turn to Moses, their voices a desperate chorus of blame and anguish. Why have you brought us out here to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us, bringing us out of Egypt? Moisés se mantém firme. Não tenham medo. Permaneçam firmes e verão a libertação que o Senhor lhes trará hoje. Os egípcios que vocês veem hoje nunca mais verão. Against the backdrop of the Red Sea, Moses raises his staff, a solitary figure, beseeching the heavens. Answering his prayer, a fierce east wind descends, whipping the waters into a frenzy. With hesitant steps at first, then with growing confidence, they begin their exodus across the seabed. A multitude of souls traversing the impossible, their faith made manifest in the heart of the sea. Under the vast, inky sky, the Red Sea shimmers, an endless path illuminated by a divine pillar of fire. An immense procession of Israelites continues their desperate traverse across the exposed seabed, their figures silhouetted against the ethereal light. In the distance, the relentless Egyptian army advances, a dark tide of chariots churning through the receding waters. Their war machines cut through the waves, driven by a singular, merciless purpose: to recapture their fleeing slaves. The divine light casts long, ominous shadows, a stark contrast between hope and impending doom on the miraculous seabed. At dawn, the last of the Israelites emerge onto the far shore, their silhouettes stark against the rising sunday. Moses raises his hand, a gesture of divine power, over the vast expanse of the Red Sea. With a thunderous roar, the walls of water collapse, surging forward like vengeful giants. The Egyptian army is caught in the deluge, their chariots and soldiers swallowed by the relentless waves. Silence descends as the sea returns to its former state, leaving only the echoes of a miraculous salvation and a devastating defeat. Under the relentless sun, the Red Sea stretches out, its surface shimmering like a mirage. The Israelites stand on the shore, an endless multitude, their faces mirroring disbelief and overwhelming joy. Broken chariots and discarded weapons bob amidst the waves, grim relics of a miraculous event. The bodies of Egyptian soldiers are scattered among the debris, silent witnesses to divine power. A collective gasp of awe transforms into a powerful chorus of praise, rising from the multitude in heartfelt gratitude. Under the scorching sun, the Israelites begin their arduous trek into the vast desert of Shur. The landscape stretches endlessly, a barren expanse of sand and rock, testing the limits of their resolve. Each step is a testament to their faith, as the unforgiving terrain challenges their very survival. Heat shimmers off the dunes, creating mirages that dance on the horizon, deceiving and disorienting. Whispers of doubt mingle with prayers for strength as they push onward, a people united against the desolation. Their journey becomes a visual metaphor for spiritual endurance, each grain of sand representing a trial to overcome. Under the blazing sun, the Israelites arrive at Marah, their faces etched with exhaustion and thirst. Their hope turns to bitter disappointment as they discover the water is undrinkable, a cruel mirage in the desert. A chorus of anguished complaints erupts, the people's frustration and despair directed at Moses. Overwhelmed by the people's suffering, Moses cries out to God, his voice a desperate plea against the vast sky. Following divine instruction, Moses throws a piece of wood into the tainted water, a gesture of faith amidst despair. A tense silence hangs in the air, broken by a collective gasp as the water transforms, becoming sweet and life-giving. Under the relentless desert sun, the Israelites arrive at Elim, a vibrant oasis shimmering with promise. 12 springs gurgle and flow, a symphony of life in the arid expanse, quenching the thirst of the weary. 70 palm trees sway gently, their fronds offering a canopy of shade against the harsh glare. Weary travelers find respite, their faces etched with gratitude as they replenish themselves in this haven. The oasis stands as a testament to divine provision, a moment of peace amidst their arduous journey. Under the relentless sun of the desert of sin, the Israelites trudge through the sand, their faces marked by exhaustion and despair. Empty waterskins hang as a stark reminder of their dwindling hope, a low grumble of discontent rippling through the crowd. Resentful eyes glare at Moses and Aaron, who press onward with grim determination. The Israelites cry out in anguish, "If only we had died by the hand of the Lord in Egypt, when we sat by pots of meat and ate all the bread we wanted." As fiery hues paint the desert dunes, a hush falls over the desert of sin, signaling the descent of dusk. Manna rains down from the heavens, a delicate blanket of divine bounty upon the parched earth. Israelites emerge from their tents, their faces upturned in awe at the miraculous provision. With trembling hands, they gather the manna, each flake a testament to God's boundless generosity. Eyes widening in astonishment, they consume the divine gift, a silent symphony of gratitude echoing through the desert. As dusk descends, long shadows stretch across the desert of sin, a canvas of sand under a fading Sunday. The sky turns ominous as a massive flock of quail blots out the light, their wings a thunderous wave filling the air. Under the relentless sun, the Israelites arrive at Rephidim, their hope turning to despair as they survey the arid landscape. Thirst etches lines of desperation on their faces as they realize the wells are dry. A murmur of discontent ripples through the crowd, growing louder with each passing moment. Water, Give us water to drink, they cry out, their voices hoarse with desperation and rising anger. The air crackles with menace as the crowd threatens. Why did you bring us out of Egypt? To kill us and our children and livestock with thirst, and we'll stone him. Under the scorching sun at Rephidim, Moses raises his staff, a humble figure guided by divine will. With unwavering faith, he strikes the barren rock, the sound echoing through the parched land. A sudden crack appears, spiderwebbing across the stone's surface, the earth holding its breath. Then, a miracle unfolds. Water bursts forth, a torrent of life cascading down the rock face. The Israelites watch in awe, their faces illuminated by the life-giving stream. Water for the Israelites to drink echoes through the desert, a testament to faith and salvation. Under the scorching sun, the Amalekites descend upon Rephidim, their savage war cries shattering the desert stillness. Joshua, a beacon of resolve, rallies the Israelite army, his face grim with determination as they brace for impact. Steel clashes against steel, a brutal dance of death amidst swirling sands, as the battle engulfs the arid landscape. High above the fray, on a solitary hilltop, Moses stands resolute, the staff of God a stark silhouette against the blazing sky. The fate of nations hangs in the balance, mirrored in the fierce struggle below and the unwavering figure above. Under the relentless sun of Rephidim, a fierce battle unfolds. Moses holds the staff high, a beacon of hope as the Israelites surge forward, their cries echoing with determination. But fatigue takes hold, his arms tremble, threatening to lower the staff and dim their hope. Aaron and Hur rush to his aid, their strong hands rising to support Moses, ensuring the staff remains aloft against the darkening sky. The Amalekites falter, their lines break, and they scatter in defeat before the unwavering symbol of faith and unity. Beneath the vast, open sky, the Israelites arrive, a sea of faces turned towards the towering Mount Sinai. A vast multitude gathers at the mountain's base, their hearts stirring with anticipation and a touch of fear. Mount Sinai looms, majestic and formidable, its peak piercing the clear desert air. The people stand in awe, a silent testament to the power and mystery that shrouds the mountain. Each gaze is fixed on the imposing mountain, a collective breath held in reverence and uncertainty. Against the backdrop of a tumultuous sky, Moses begins his ascent up Mount Sinai, his form stark against the divine chaos. Thick clouds gather around the mountain's peak, swirling with an otherworldly glow that hints at the sacred events unfolding. Thunder rumbles with ominous weight, each peal echoing the power of the heavens as lightning flashes illuminate the ancient landscape. Below, the Israelites watch in awe and trepidation, their faces mirroring a mixture of fear and reverence. The spectacle unfolds, a divine drama played out on the grand stage of Mount Sinai, with humanity as its awestruck audience. Under the relentless glare of the desert sun, Mount Sinai rises majestically, its peaks piercing the heavens. A blinding light erupts as God, a figure of unimaginable power, materializes amidst the stark landscape. With divine authority, God presents Moses with 2 stone tablets, etched with the eternal words of the 10 Commandments. Each commandment glows with celestial energy, a testament to their profound and enduring significance. God continues to impart sacred laws and instructions, his voice resonating across the desolate expanse, shaping the destiny of the Israelites. Under the unforgiving desert sun, a vast Israelite encampment sprawls, a chaotic tapestry of tents stretching across the sand. Restless murmurs ripple through the crowd, their faces etched with impatience and growing unease as Moses remains absent on Mount Sinai. Frustration boils over, a unified demand rising as the crowd surges toward Aaron, who retreats into a tent under their relentless pressure. Emerging with grim resignation, Aaron presents a golden calf, its metallic gleam igniting a frenzy of idolatrous fervor among the Israelites. The scene descends into chaos as the Israelites dance wildly around the idol, their unrestrained revelry, a stark contrast to the solemn covenant being forged above. Moses descends from the towering heights of Mount Sinai, the weight of the tablets heavy in his hands. A horrifying sight greets him: the Israelites reveling in idolatry around a golden calf. Righteous anger surges through Moses, his face contorted with fury and disappointment. In a fit of rage, he hurls the sacred tablets to the ground, the sound of their shattering echoing through the valley. Before the assembled Israelites, Moses stands, his face a stern mask of fury and disappointment. A profound hush falls over the vast camp as Moses prepares to confront them, the weight of their transgression heavy in the air. His voice, amplified with righteous anger, booms across the camp. Those who are on the Lord's side, come to me. The Levites, armed and resolute, surge forward, their unwavering loyalty a stark contrast to the surrounding uncertainty. Under Moses' command, the Levites move through the camp, their grim purpose clear. Cries of anguish echo through the air as the brutal reckoning begins, a harsh consequence for those who strayed into idolatry. Against the stark, rocky expanse of Mount Sinai, Moses begins his arduous ascent, his face burdened with worry. He kneels upon the ancient stone, a solitary figure dwarfed by the immensity of the heavens. With hands raised in supplication, Moses cries out, his voice echoing across the desolate peak. "O God, I beseech you, forgive your people for their transgression." His plea intensifies, a desperate bargain offered to the divine. Do not let your wrath consume them. The wind whips around him as he makes the ultimate sacrifice, his voice filled with anguish. If their sin is too great, then take my life instead. Let me be the atonement for their failings. Under the radiant sun, Mount Sinai stands in serene majesty. A display of divine mercy graces the mountain as God nods, forgiving the Israelites. God turns towards Moses, his figure bathed in celestial light. His voice, echoing with the force of creation, commands attention. "Carve 2 new tablets of stone, Moses," God commands, his voice resonating with celestial authority. "I shall inscribe the 10 commandments upon them once more," he promises, the mountain listening in solemn silence. Years dissolve into the tapestry of the wilderness, seasons turning as the Israelites navigate a landscape of faith and obedience. Moses, his face etched with the trials and victories of leadership, remains a steadfast beacon for his people. Each sunrise paints the distant shimmer of the promised land, a constant reminder of their divine destination. The memory of the sea's miraculous parting lingers, an enduring testament to God's power and unwavering promise. With every step, they carry the weight of their past and the hope of their future, forged in the heart of the wilderness. The land stretches before them, an expanse of challenge and possibility, where faith is both tested and rewarded.